What's going on? What's going on? All right, y'all know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. I'm your gracious host, A6. It's the Foreign National Born Natural. My hair's a mess. Hold on, give me a sec. Live and direct, live in effect. What's going on with you guys? We got a few people trickling in the room. I usually give it like 5 minutes to make sure everybody gets in here, doesn't miss anything, but people still do anyway. But it's all good. My man Carl in here. Carl Trombley, she about to be to the moon. Really? You think so? Okay, we can talk about that too. We can talk about that a little later. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, guys. A whole lot of stuff. You watching the recorded version of this? Thank you for joining. If you're watching it live, thank you for joining also. Much to talk about. Um, Angela Racino, greetings from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, USA Republic, my friend. Yes, indeed. Greetings from the Maryland Republic. True, true indeed, true indeed. Yes, yes. Man, this weekend was I pretty much did my thing this week, and I actually went finally, and I was able to establish putting the automobiles into the trust. So I actually managed to do that. Finally, I've been dragging my feet with stuff like that, but a lot of us have. There's just so much information, and we're trying to do so many different things. I was able to transfer one of my automobiles into the trust, and I did use the 9.8 for that, which is the foreign EIN. A lot of people were asking me about the foreign EIN, the 9.8 number, and stuff like that. That is a great thing to do with that. What I usually like to do with stuff like that, like with the 9.8, what I would suggest you guys doing, don't do commerce with it. Don't bring any Federal Reserve notes in and out of that trust. This is what I suggest. You do what you want, but like with the 9.8, you're probably better off just like using it for like asset protection. You know what I mean? You can also one of the things I noticed too, what people do, they'll transfer things into the trust. Like, let's say you have like, for instance, an automobile, and when you transfer it in and you fill out the title and all that stuff, and you put the name of the trust on there instead of using your name, you put the name of the trust. You know, the first name is the name of the trust, and if you got a two-name trust, like something something trust, the last name would be trust, and then the first name would be whatever. You know, you don't even always have to have a middle name too. So you could usually just use the first name and then the last of the trust. And then wherever the office is established at, you can use that for the address, and you can pretty much move through that. In terms of how much the automobile is sold for, you can actually put silver on there because that's not taxable. So you can do silver. That is a way you can move with it. So just a recommendation. But yeah, a lot of people say, yo, I got the 98 number 86. I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, I mean, you just start basic, man. Just rock out with dropping assets in it. Some people like to get the 98 name, excuse me, the 98 number, and then use their new name as like their identity or something like that. Like there's a Moors who actually do like a L or a Bay name, and then they'll create that and have the 98 under that. You do that too. That's another way you can move with it. But yes, indeed. Definitely, if you have any of your automobiles and you're out here traveling and stuff like that, you do not want to have it in your all caps name because they will try to tie you to that all caps name. The straw man ends legis, and they'll try to basically say it's you. So a lot of times when it deals with a trust too, I've heard people getting tickets with automobiles that aren't in the trust, and then when they put it in the trust, the case just gets dismissed because they don't have the authority to what is it? What's the word I'm searching for? Administrate that trust or be the trustee unless they're appointed. So a lot of times they'll throw a case out. I've heard of that happening multiple times. What up, man? Civic Maker, was good with you, man. We're gonna talk about what we talked about earlier, bro. Yo, please stick around for later on, man. Yo, we gonna talk about the effects of the Mandela and all that stuff, man. There's more Mandela effects that popped up. You know what I mean? I told y'all this was gonna happen when they fired that Cern up. It's gonna be a whole lot more Mandela effects. I told you guys that. What manner of man is this? Best way to get access to the Sister KV Trust. I don't personally do that, so if you find out that information, you might want to check somewhere else for that. 'Cause we don't do that over here personally. I don't mess with the Sister KB Trust. You can, and it is possible, but it's a very specific way you have to do it. So yeah, good luck. Good luck with figuring that out, though, my man. Respectfully. What up, Prof? What's going on with you? Welcome to the 9A Club, dude. I'm gonna tell you something. I've been in the 9A Club for a minute. I just been dragging ass with it. You know what I mean? But it's all good. But yeah, I'm of course a lot of you guys know I'm in the Maryland Republic, so I went to the DMV on Saturday. Dude, people were surprisingly cooperative, man. I had got I booked a reservation online, which is very convenient. Booking online is the way to go. You ain't got to wait in no long ass. It's butter. I highly suggest if you need to go in there and do something like that, book it online and then show up on time. Don't show up late. Don't be an asshole. Show up on time. When you get there, let them know what it is. Boom, boom, boom. Take your ticket. I sat down probably about 15, 20 minutes. I didn't even wait that long. Was called up to the front, told her I wanted to transfer the automobile into a trust. The lady said she'd never done it before, but she was very cooperative and very easy to deal with. I had all my stuff ready whenever you go up there to transfer it in. Make sure you got the title, anything that needs to be signed by the title, all that stuff. Make sure that's all taken care of, and make sure you have, of course, you bring your passport. And what was the other thing I had? Oh yeah, proof of the trust of the trustee, pretty much. So a lot of people, when they get the 98, they'll get that form from the IRS, basically stating that the 98 number is what it is, and then from there you can bring that with you, and then when you bring that with you, they'll go ahead and help you set everything up to transfer the title over, so you don't have to put anything in the all caps name. A lot of people want to get away from using that social security and that 98, excuse me, the social security in the all caps name. A lot of people want to get away from that. Best way to do it is to set up your own person because we all know the person is an individual, which is also it can be a business, it can be a corporation, or anything like that. A trust, that's a person. So you create your own person and you move through that person pretty much, not one that was created for you. Then that eliminates kind of the benefit of having all the pretty much jurisdiction, things like that, and the benefit of using things that are assigned for you. Because when you take a benefit, we all know what happens. You give up rights and lose rights when you take a benefit. That's the whole point of it. Brian B, what's up, man? Send off my birth certificate for the dead authentication. Ball is rolling. Okay, Fed. Okay, federal authentication. Yeah. That's another thing you guys got to make sure you do it on a county level, a state, and a federal. A lot of people start small with the county, then they'll move up to the state and then the federal later. So yeah, ball's rolling, man. It's always good to make progress with this stuff because when you get something done, it feels like you just hit like a stepping stone, because there's just so much stuff we're learning. And as we start to climb the ladder, every rung you step up feels like a process. Like, yo, I finally got it done. But best place to start, I would say, is with the status correction. You want to get that taken care of first. Start small or start big because that's the biggest thing, and then move from there. A lot of people move with the SS5 form next. But getting ahead of myself. All right, boom. So let me go ahead and put y'all on point with what I found today. Actually, not even today, this week. I want to show you guys videos. So we're gonna cover all the nonsense, all this Cern crap that's been happening, this Democrat versus Republican stuff that's been happening. It has been a mess in the United States of America, and I'm here for it, and so are you. So let's start off with this ad from a Republican in Arizona running for office. Now check this out right here.
Democrats like to say that no one needs an AR-15 for self-defense, that no one could possibly need all 30 rounds. But when this rifle is the only thing standing between your family and a dozen angry Democrats in Klan hoods, you just might need that semi-automatic and all 30 rounds.
That's the greatest congressional ad I've ever seen, maybe in my life. That man's name is Jerome Davis, the guy with the rifle fighting the KKK. He's a pastor from Arizona. He's a student athlete, formerly of Arizona State University and the Los Angeles Rams. He is a major player in Arizona politics, and it seems like he's going to be even bigger after that ad. He's running for Congress. Check him out, Jerome.
Yo, did y'all hear what that man said? Oh, yo, that was, and the dirtiest part about that is the Democrats can't say shit about it. It's a black dude, first off. Second off, he talking about the Klan, which they supposedly hate and accuse the Republicans of being the Klan. Third off, he talking about AR-15s and he talking about 30 rounds and stuff like that. Then he talking about them, the Democrats being under the hood, the robes of the hood. Oh my, it the low blow, man. Hey, I'm here for it. So this has been unanswered, needless to say, because at the end of the day, there's not really too much the Democrats can say about stuff like that. Because he made a good point. You know what I'm talking about? He made an excellent point. All that talking points and stuff like that were pretty much counted in one single ad for running for office. If I was a quote unquote resident and a employee of the state of Arizona, I would vote for this man. just off of that commercial, at least entertain me. All politicians are pretty much bullshitters anyway. But if you're going to entertain me like that, that is a fine source of entertainment. That was entertaining. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. I thought that was hilarious. I know a lot of people in the comment section were flabbergasted. Democrats have yet to say. I haven't heard one Democrat counter anything that dude said at all. Yeah, that was a low blow, but hey, you know what I mean? It is what it is. My man Albert Taylor laughing his ass off. What up, Mike? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's good, Mike? How you been, man? But he is wrong about the Klan and Democrat. Hey, he was wrong, but he was right. You feel me? How can something so wrong be so right? The KKK at a white lady's door though in Arizona, dude. Listen, man, it was dirty. That was a very, very dirty. But hey, again, ain't nothing to say about that. You literally had a indigenous Aboriginal black man, quote unquote, saying that. That's hard to rebut that. All right, so look, y'all heard about them Georgia Guidestones, right? I know a lot of people sent me this to my email, and they were like, "Yo, you want to talk about this Sunday?" Yes, indeed, I am. All right, look, let's talk about these Georgia Guidestones, man. We talked about these things last year when they got put up, and they were supposed to have directions in terms of when apocalypse happens and everything pretty much is in the dirt. There's supposed to be a phoenix that rise from the ashes, and from the ashes is supposed to come total chaos. Excuse me, from the chaos is supposed to become order or something like that. Order from chaos, which is what the Latin term pretty much is. I think what is it, Novus Ordo Seclorum or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong about that particular Latin term, but it's one of those Latin terms that's basically order from chaos, I think. And what it basically is that once everything's been completely broken down, society's been dropped down, people are in chaos, people can't afford food, people are panicking. They need everything to be crazy in order for them to step in and sweep in and take everything where they wanted to go in a direction. And these guidestones that were put up pretty much gave guidelines as to what was supposed to happen. One of which was 500, was it 500 million? Keep the population below 500 million to control them. That was what the guidestone said, along with a bunch of other stuff too, frivolous laws, one world government, a world court. It pretty much was the template for what we expected that they wanted to do the whole entire time. And we were right about all of it. There pretty much was nothing that we were wrong about. People were calling us all kinds of names and stuff and tinfoil hat wearers and all this other crap. But at the end of the day, we were all 100% right. And we have been. So let's take a look at these guidestones and see exactly what happened.
People who live nearby say they heard a boom this morning. Right now, our Rashad Williams is joining us live from Elbert County, Georgia, with what we know so far.
Here on scene, including the GBI's bomb disposal unit. Now, the GBI tells us there is still an active explosive hazard happening here. So to give you a closer look, I want to show you some viewer photos that were sent to us. There's a lot of rubble as a result of what GBI says stems from unknown individuals that detonated an explosive device around 4 a.m., which has destroyed a large portion of this structure. And we do know the Georgia Guidestones has 4 column-like sides to it. And from the photos, Sky 4 video, and from where I'm standing right now, it looks like there are now 3. We've seen several comments from people that live in this area saying they believed it was thunder because it caused their houses to shake. Some describing it as a boom that they heard and felt around 4 a.m. Again, GBI confirming they believe this happened around 4 a.m. And for those that don't know what the Georgia Guidestones are, according to Explore Georgia, in part, it's Elberton's most unusual and mysterious set of granite monoliths known as America's Stonehenge, which stands at 19 feet high, and it also serves as an astronomical calendar, as well as containing messages about the conservation of mankind, which is seen for many here in this area as controversial. Now, again, details are limited at this time, but just to reiterate, investigators on scene have told us there is still an active explosive hazard here at the Georgia Guidestone.
All right, so my man downplayed it. He basically didn't explain, how it basically had the population control and all that stuff on there. We all know why that is. And they also tried to spin it too, which is what the media always does. They said somebody detonated a bomb or some crap like that. I've actually seen a few videos online of lightning actually hitting that bad boy. Literally. I've seen probably about, I think it was 2 different videos. I'm not sure if it was a security camera or I'm not sure how they got that footage, but there was 2 videos of lightning hitting that thing. I wish I had it here. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. I want you guys to actually see it. Hold on a minute. See if I can find it. Hold on. Thought I had it in my email. I must have. Hey, there it is. I see it. The Georgia Guidestones. I got it right here. Hold on. I'm gonna show you guys. All right, here we go. Showing you now. Where the hell is it? Where is it? There it is. All right, bang. All right, take a look at this right here. All right, now they're saying that they saw a car pulling off, which I don't believe that at all. That might have been something that was added on to it. But that's not even the video I saw originally. There was a clearer video that actually showed a bolt of lightning hitting that bad boy. I wish I still had it. But yeah, that was a it was a lightning bolt. And some people were saying, "Well, yo, there's no way that lightning can affect stone." Are you retarded? Are you retarded? Like, do you know how strong a lightning bolt is? A lightning bolt can't affect concrete. A lightning bolt will split a stone in half. Literally, like people are crazy with that stuff, man. People say there's no way. You know what it is? People play too much goddamn Pokemon. People when they was younger, they played Pokemon, and the electric Pokemon were useless against the rock Pokemon, and they applied it to real life. Like, yo, there's no way that the electric can beat rock. Yeah, you're an idiot. First off, you're an idiot. Second off, lightning is one of the most powerful forces known to any reality. That, wind, and water, those three. So the fact that a lightning bolt would not split a piece of stone in half, especially a man-made piece, is just utterly ridiculous to me. Or completely decimated or what. But nah, that was crazy. It was like, yo, those monoliths were destroyed by a bomber or something like that. Nah, I don't believe that. And then the way it was damaged, the way the monolith was damaged, it was right on the top too. The monolith was basically two stones right here, and then it was one on top. The one on top, the top piece of it was blown off. So you mean to tell me some dickhead sets up a ladder and plants a bomb on the top part, climbs down a ladder, puts the ladder somewhere, and then detonates it and speeds off in the car, and the ladder's nowhere to be found? That's completely ridiculous. If you look at the way it was damaged, right on all the photos of it, it was right on the top. It was a lightning bolt that hit that damn thing, destroyed the top of it. They try to make it look like that car pulled off or something. That car pulling off probably had nothing. That probably wasn't even from that night. It's a car pulling off like the 5 days before, or maybe 10 days, a week, a month before. That has nothing to do with what we just saw. Wrong about the Klan, the Democrats. Hold on. The KKK get a white nose lady. Yes, sir. It's been good. Haven't heard your notification from the channel. I think they're blocking us, but you know it, man. You know it. I'm definitely shadow banned. I'm 100% sure of that. Definitely shadow banned. That's why I be telling you guys, if you share the videos in the different groups and things you guys are in, we can bring in more views and subscribers that way, because they're not going to give me a push because they don't like the shit I talk about. Shit, just 2 weeks ago, y'all saw they tried to cut me off. I was talking to y'all and trying to show y'all some laws and stuff. They shut the stream down. They ain't want me talking about that. But yeah, they're not going to push this kind of content. If I'm not talking about something like stereotypical, or you know what I mean, completely asinine, or some agenda they're trying to push, they're not trying to really move it. So they'll have it shadow banned to where the people who are subscribed may see it, but they don't even get all the notifications. Good to have you back. If no Sister K Trust, what do you do? We basically do pretty much freedom, man. If you're trying to get some Federal Reserve notes or some credits or something like that, I can't help you, my man. You know, we talk about like a lot of stuff, current events, right to travel, all that stuff over here, man. What manner of man are you trying to? What manner of man? What are you trying to get it done? He's asking you what you're trying to do. Usually, the media, they all spin it around and what they want. Absolutely, look like a 30 min or a stinger off an Apache, 30 millimeter or a stinger. I think a Stinger missile would have detonated that thing completely. It would have been completely obliterated. It would have just chipped the top part off. A 30 millimeter probably would have split the stone slab in two. Maybe not. A 50 would have, but maybe a 30 would have done that. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think that was a lightning bolt, Chief. Real talk. That was some crappy editing. That's what I said. Like, yo, really? So y'all just randomly have a car pulling off, a silver Honda or something like that pulling off? Fuck out of here. What up, Joseph? Good to have you here. Could you fart? What up, Nicole? What's going on with you? The Lost Rose. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, let's move on, man. We got another bit of information to talk about. So the question I had to you guys is who actually watched the whole 6-hour live stream of the Cern machine being activated? I did not because I had a lot of stuff to do. But they might have got us, man. They might have got over on us. Let's take a look at this real quick.
I can't be the only one who caught this on the Cern Live.
All right, so for those of you who couldn't see that, because I know it's kind of far out or kind of small, it says on the Cern screen in the background the date was 4/22/22, which anybody who knows the significance of 22/22 is supposed to be a mirror dimension. So the 22/22 is basically like it's a mirror of sorts, and it's the dimensional mirror. So that the significance of those 4 2s. Actually, there's 22 people watching right now, which is very interesting. I'm talking about this, but yeah, it's the 22 is a significant part of I'd say interdimensional time travel. Dare I say interdimensional jumping or anything like that? The 22 would play a significant part, but they're saying that they might have got us because on a live stream we might have been watching footage that happened in April, which that's the Cern thing might have already literally been fired up in April, man. So that is a possibility that they might have done. What say y'all, man? What do y'all think about that? I wouldn't put it past them. Actually, I'm sorry, that was not 22. That was 25. 420. Wait a minute, hold on. No, I thought that said 22. Give me
I
a second. Let me
can't
look
be
at it
the
again.
only one who caught this on the Cern Live.
That's a 25. My bad. My eyes are bad. That's a 25. So 425. But there's still 222 people that, that liked the video. But now it was 425-22 is what it actually said. But in any case, the whole point of me showing you guys that was, do you guys think that they might have actually already fired it up beforehand and just showed us the after? Here's what we did a few months ago. Good luck trying to, you conspiracy theorists trying to come out there and throw shit at us. You know what I mean? Nah, I seen stone chimneys cracked after being hit by lightning and oak trees split, but possible. What you mean? Like you don't, so you don't think the lightning did it then? Like, you be speaking the truth, they'll shut down the stream or they'll mute you. That's what they do, man. I've seen this happen to 3 different people. I did it. What the fuck is CERN? CERN, I believe, is a particle accelerator. I think that the damn thing's in Sweden or something like that. What they do is they launch particles and like and or atoms or whatever it is, scientific term for it is, and they slam them into each other at high speeds, and they watch the after effects of them. They're trying to create dark matter, and they're saying dark matter is the creator of everything, which is the reality we have. That's what the theory is, anyway. So they try to create dark matter or from slamming these particles into each other at high velocity, and which is, I've heard stories that they actually screwed up the first time they activated it in 2016, and the reason why we jumped to a whole other dimension is because they destroyed the dimension we were in before, and they were saying that we jumped to another parallel dimension where things look almost identical, but there's some subtle differences, like the movie. What is that movie called that Sinbad did not do? What was that movie called? Y'all help me out with that. Was it Shazam? I think it was Shazam. I specifically remember watching Shazam, and you know what else I remember? I specifically remember, and let me talk to my indigenous Aboriginal brothers for a minute. All right. I know we got a lot of different races of people to watch this, but let me holler at my indigenous Aboriginal people. I specifically remember, all right, back in 2003, 2004, when we used to mix Hennessy and Hypnotic and make Incredible Hulk. I know for a fact this is not how Hypnotic was spelled. There was a Y in Hypnotic. Hypnotic had a Y in it, yo. I'm telling you, I drank this plenty of times. Last time we went to Texas was like 2020. We had the little trip over there, like a little boys trip or whatever like that. And all the mans, he was like, yo, let's take it back. Let's get that Hypno and Hennessy. And let's feel like it was 2003 all over again. Yo, there was a Y in the Hypnotic, bro. They took the Y is gone now. And like I said, this was just 2 years ago, last time I actually drank this stuff. But I know there was for a fact there was a Y in it. Now the Y is completely gone. It's just HP, which don't even make no sense. HPNOTIQ. That's pretty much how Hypnotic is spelled. now, now I don't know when this happened, yo. Like I said, last time I drank this stuff was 2 years ago. But I know for a fact, because I've always looked at that Y and said, that's a very interesting way to spell Hypnotic. And now the Y is gone. It's just HP, which makes no sense. Again, makes no sense at all. Hold on one sec. Here we go. Damn, I missed a lot of comments that fast. What manner of man is this? He won't get it through that trust. Claim your name, claim your state number, get your 9-8 trust, and you'll be set up for success. But you have to research that. Yeah, yeah, there's a process to that, man. That's why I said I don't particularly mess with that. I don't fault anybody who does, though. Damn, that's interesting. Large Hadron Collider. LHC is Cern. Okay, got you. Shazam. Yo, I saw Shazam, man. They probably shipping out Terminators. Yo said Terminators. God, Dallas, let's hope not. We ain't ready to take on no Terminators yet, man. What's up, Joyce? Trust with your straw man. The difference between the citizen and the national apply them to your situation. That's fact. Show did. Yes, there was a Y. The Shazam factor. Now they didn't change the name. The Cern changed the goddamn name. There's probably gonna be more of them too. Somebody else said something about double stuffed Oreos, where there was actually the cover of the box of the double stuff. They said that it was 2 F's and an E and a D, but the way it's spelled now is STUF, just 1 F. Which I can't call it because I don't really eat Oreos like that, so I couldn't really call it for that one. But anybody who remembers, it seems more like they would probably put the regular spelling of it. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Incredible Hawks with an ish, but all the time I was bartending, there was no Y. Really? So you don't remember there being a Y? Is that what you're saying? I remember there was a Y, bro. Like maybe we came from different dimensions. I don't know, but there was a Y when I used to drink that. But I used to look at the Y like, yo, that's dope. They put a Y in here. They changing things, playing with witchcraft. Yeah, dimensional. Like, and it could be a situation. My man Prof, he said there was no Y, but my man Prof said that maybe whatever situation he actually came from, maybe when things changed or whatever, we all got projected to different dimensions or something. Who knows, man? When we start talking about the multiverse and all that stuff, which is why they show us all this stuff in movies, the predictive programming, that stuff is actually real, man. The multiverse is facts. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different dimensions and things like that. Any decision you make, that's why they put out. Why do you guys think they put out a lot? They started putting those video games out that have different endings and different paths you can take depending on what choice you make. The reason they do that is because they're preparing you for exactly what's about to happen. Like any decision you make, and there's like video games, like let's say for instance, what's a good example? Detroit Become Human. That is a great example of multiple scenarios where there's different endings depending on what situations and decisions you make. You know what I mean? There's what is it? Heavy Rain's another one where there's a bunch of different endings depending on what decisions you make. That's the multiverse theory, pretty much. Any choice you make, like if you decide to pick up a pen or not pick up a pen, that splits into 2 different paths and they continue. And the theory I told you guys about last year, I was basically saying, what if there's a situation where nobody actually prematurely dies? Everyone gets to live a full life. But if you were to die in one timeline, you automatically get transported to a timeline where you continue living. So let's say, again, if you're walking outside and there's a bus coming, you don't see the bus and it smashes into you, right? That timeline, you're gone. You get transported to another timeline where the bus actually narrowly missed you. You know what I'm saying? And you pick up from there pretty much. In that timeline, whatever like that, you gone, you died. They celebrate your funeral and all that stuff. They had your funeral, the wake, all that good stuff. You know, you buried dead in the ground in 3 weeks. And this timeline, you continue going to your job search or whatever like that, and you keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, when we really start talking about this stuff, we got to talk about, you know, the possibility that that's the case. They were saying death is a portal to another dimension. I've heard that in the movies. I think it was a Mortal Kombat movie that came out. A lot of religions also believe in reincarnation too. So when you actually do die, you come back in another dimension, you know, and you get to live another life pretty much. So reincarnation. Some people believe there's 9 lives too. I think there's certain religions that believe you are reincarnated 9 times or something, and there's a certain path or there's a certain goal that you have to achieve within those 9 reincarnations. And if you don't reach that goal, pretty much, you got to return back to the source. What's good, Jesse? Good to have you here. I remember my manager and I arguing about the spelling. Interesting. Thor Love and Thunder was telling a lot also. I gotta watch Thor Love and Thunder, man. I gotta check that out. Doctor Strange was a letdown, but yo, there was some good stuff in Doctor Strange. When they talked about the astral projection, how you can actually project your spirit to another location and stuff like that. I was watching a old school show that came out in the 90s today. It was called Beyond Belief. You guys may remember that. Beyond Belief basically was a show where they would have a narrator telling 5 different stories per show. And it was your job to listen to the story and decipher if it was real or if it was fake. And the interesting thing about that, they actually had a case on there or a situation, a scenario on there where this lady was having dreams and she was dreaming about this house for how long? She was dreaming about this house for I think she said a year or something like that. Every night she would have a dream. She was walking around this house, opening doors and stuff like that, and she was like literally loving this house. Every night she had the same recurring dream, and it was like for a year straight. So her and her husband are house shopping. So she ends up going out with her husband. They look at houses and she's not happy. She's like, I want the dream house. I want the dream house. There's a house I always see in my dreams, this, that, and the third. So they ride down the road searching for houses, and she screams, "Oh, stop the car! Stop the car! There's a house right here. I need to look at this house. That's it. That's the house I've been seeing." So they go in the house, and she knows what everything is. She's like, "Yo, the pool's back here. This is the pantry. You know, this is the island I was telling you about." And the husband's blown away, like, "Yo, how do you know where all this stuff is?" And she's like, "Yo, this is the house I seen every night in my dream." So the real estate agent comes out while they're in the house. I was like, what can I do for you guys? And they're like, yo, we are looking for a house. And so she says, all right, well, you guys can fill out your information, this, that, and the third, and I'll run it past the seller. So she ends up putting the information. They put a low bid. They didn't think they'd be able to get the house because they put a real low bid in. It was like, yo, the husband was like, I don't think we can afford this house. So the real estate agent comes back and she's like, well, good news, you guys got a house. And she says, well, why are you guys getting rid of it for so cheap? Because you know, we honestly didn't think we'd be able to afford it. She said, I'll be honest with you, the seller thinks the house is haunted. So the seller comes down like and she looks at the lady and says, yo, you are the one who's been in my house every night. You would be the one, you're the one that's walking around my house every night. And she thought that she was the lady that was walking around the house. So the astral projection thing, like being able to transport your body, which all this stuff was declassified by the FBI, and I think it was 2018 now, with the astral projection being real and existing and all that stuff. She actually was transporting her consciousness and her spirit to that house and was walking around the house literally. Meanwhile, she thought the other lady saw the astral projection, which was probably like a white silhouette or something like that, and thought the house was haunted, but she was able to see the features. But yeah, that shit is crazy, man. I tell you, 100%. But it's facts, all declassified. He was with a guy and thought it was hip. I thought it was ignorant as fuck. Oh, he was a white guy and I thought it was hip. They changed that name about 6 years ago. What you mean they changed the name 6 years ago? The Hypnotic, bro. I'm telling you, we just got Hypnotic in 2020, bro. That shit was not. There was no Y in the Hypnotic. Excuse me. There was a Y in Hypnotic. It was not HP. I watched Shazam also. Yes, indeed. Yeah, and it was Hypnotic. My man remembers it. I'm not alone. It's a few people that said it was a Y in Hypnotic. Have you seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once? No, I haven't seen that. I need to look at that. What's that about, Rhodes? I'm writing it down now. All right. What up, Zakiba? Good to have you here, man. The new Puss in Boots movie is about 9 lives. Really? Man, I'm telling you, every movie that comes out now has something to do with all this stuff. Every movie that's coming out that has any kind of success is talking about all of this spirituality we discuss every week, man. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Puss in Boots. All right, give me 1 sec. Hold on. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Oh man. All right, where we at? Yeah, I'm gonna check out that Puss in Boots movie though. I wrote it down. I'm making notes. I gotta check all this stuff out. What up, Jimmy? This is the first time we had Jimmy on a Sunday live, and like it's been like 4 months. I thought he picked up a night shift or something. What's up, Jimmy? X LA Noir. Oh look, now we on Mandela Effect. You best believe we on Mandela Effect, man. Reincarnation. Reincarnation. They don't like reincarnation. All right, no, all good, man. You believe what you want. That's fine. Definitely hypnotic. Yes, sir. What's up, Carolina? What's going on with you? Well, I dream of Genie. You talking about dream of Genie? Hey, yo, I don't know about genies though, man. I really don't know much about them. I don't know much about genies. I only know what they showed in the TV shows and stuff like that. But I'm not sure about the whole scenario where if you find anything with powers or something like that, it'll grant a wish. That could be a metaphor for like selling your soul too. The hypnotic name, yeah. Yeah, I don't agree with that, man. That was a Y in Hypnotic. I'm telling you, different multiverses. Yes, indeed, Rhodes. I just received my denial letter from the passport agency, the Department of State, saying the only people who can receive passports are U.S. citizens or U.S. nationals. They swap national to national. So hold on. So they're not giving you your passport? Is that what you're telling me? They're not giving you your passport? That's crazy. You might want to you might have to send them an affidavit back and tell them, tell them what time you on. If not, try a different department, I would say. Excuse me, not Department of State. Try a different representative, I meant. Try a different representative. Ask to speak to the highest up or whatever. If not, you might have to take a trip to DC, which I'm not a big fan of DC at all. But you might have to go to the US, the United States. Might actually go down to the United States. Sounds like Miss Marvel with the genie. Yeah, I'm not a dude. I could not do it. I tried to watch Miss Marvel, bro. I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't. I tried 4 times to watch that show, bro, and I complained the whole time. I said, "This shit is horrible. I can't stand it. This show is boring. It's too many colors. The woman is not even cute. Like, yo, she looked like Peter Griffin. I was not enjoying that at all. So I had to shut that down. I might have to read the Cliff's notes on that because I can't rock with it. And they did the same thing. That is correct. I appealed it, but they swapped the definition for U.S. national, which is 8 United States Code 1101-21 National of the United States. So that you're basically saying they're not giving you a passport? Is that what you're saying? Hit my email, man. We can talk about that. Hit my email. I got you. Genie, the TV show, not actual genies. I have a teenage daughter. Oh yeah, teenage daughter. I know, man. That show is for children, but dude, I was like, yo, let me watch this show just so I can be updated on everything that's happening in the universe. But the way it's looking, none of this stuff's gonna tie together. I looked at Moon Knight, which was dope. I suggest you guys go watch that. That's not really tied into the Falcon and Bucky. That's not tied into to Ms. Marvel. Like none of these things are connecting. So I'm like, I'm starting to really think that the Marvel universe is out of ideas now. They might have fucked up with the end game. The end game might have been too good, too well put together. Because it's like, yo, no movie has really been good since besides the Spider-Man movie, you know? So, and even the Spider-Man movie was a multiverse movie. You know what I mean? That was Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales. That was a multiverse movie. They're all multiverse movies. They're prepping you, telling you. All right, let's continue, shall we? All right, let's look at this right here. This is a very interesting video I saw on Instagram. Um, this video right here, this is kind of weird. This reminds me of that what is that Hideo Kojima, that game that came out when he had the baby in the incubator. You know, look at this shit.
Check out this new concept. This concept of conceiving kids. Now the mother will no longer have to carry the kid for 9 months. Now it can be raised in a bag. How convenient. Mothers will no longer have to sacrifice their time and, most importantly, their bodies. Does this sound like something you would be interested in? I would love to tell you this is a new concept, but if you know anything about human cloning, you would know they've been doing this for quite a long time. Only now is it finding its way to consumers. What's your thoughts on this? Please leave it in the comments. Unanswered Universe.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna say to you guys. All right, y'all know where I'm going with this. If they're showing you this technology now, how long have they actually been using this kind of technology to do whatever? I mean, yeah, you're right, Civic Maker. That it is not a real baby. That's 100% facts. That's not the point, though. The point is they're talking about bringing this tech out to people so that people don't have to risk their bodies. And then the Roe v. Wade decision also, this shit all ties in. You gotta connect the dots here, right? So if it's a situation where that women don't have to have bodies and babies inside their bodies anymore, and they have the technology to do this, how long do you think this technology has actually been around? It's just like the touchscreen phones and stuff like that, bro. It's the same thing. They probably had touchscreen phones in the 60s. Technology wasn't out there like that because they weren't releasing it. They had that technology for, you best believe that technology has been around for a long time. And why were they not putting it out there? Maybe a situation where maybe they was, I don't know, making copies of people. Who knows? Who knows? But that's something we got to talk about. Then, I mean, how many women here would actually want to have that kind of birth where the baby's completely separated from your body? Part of the whole process of women giving birth is the bonding experience of the child being inside her body. That's what creates that bonding. You actually have situations where women become surrogate mothers, where they basically sign an agreement or whatever with a couple. If the woman can't have a baby or something, they'll hire a surrogate mother, and the mother will actually be impregnated via, I think it's like some kind of medical apparatus they use, and they'll be impregnated with that apparatus. And then as that 9 months goes by, the mother is paid money to deliver that baby. There's actually certain states though where the mother can actually retain the right to be a mother and decide to keep the baby pretty much if she decides to, because of that bond. And this is something that was talked about a few times. There was a court case where a couple tried to sue her, and they actually granted her rights for being the mother, pretty much just for carrying the baby, because there's a bond when whatever you do, however anytime you move around, the way you sleep, the way you lay down, you can't do the same activities. Your body's changing. That's all a bond. You know what I mean? That's a maternal bond, pretty much. That's not something that can be emulated, man, at all. So that's like them. You know what that reminds me of? The super baby method with Solid Snake. Like, that's just not right, bro. It don't make no sense. That's crazy to me. He should contact the state senator. Agreed. Agreed. Which is we're gonna talk about it in the email though. What up, Tony? Good to see you here, man. My man got the glass on, businessman. With the glass, I respect it. He needs to contact the state senator to prove the mother rise. Agreed, agreed. It's not a real baby. Yes, indeed. At least 20 to 40 years. You best believe it. They had that technology for a long ass time. He prepped up like crazy since the 50s. Remember that movie that came out, Us? How likely do you think it is that they actually have like, a whole different uh what am I saying here? A whole different population of persons, because they're not people, because they weren't born of nature. Persons is what they're called. How many of these persons do you think they actually have? You know what I mean? The movie Us, there was supposed to be a whole nation underground, under the surface, that's supposed to be hollow, according to some. What is the likelihood that, these persons were born as such to be copies of us here on the surface? You know, what is the likelihood of that? Man, since the 50s. Cloning has been around since World War One. Check out Clonaid. Clonaid. Here my dumb ass is thinking they they had cloning in the. I remember they used to talk about cloning sheep in the 90s and 95, 96. And it was like, yo, they cloning sheep now? Yeah, they've been cloning persons, like making persons literally out of people. The island, yo, you talking about something else now? My man said the island. Damn, Lee family, what up, yo? What's going on? What's going on? Thirst for truth, yes, sir. Colby is just like the first successful cloning of the sheep. How many times was it tried before they got it right? But that's the thing, like, yo, they've been doing this for a long ass time before that. So, like, yo, that's scary, yo. How many times have people been in a hospital and had to give blood and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Like, yo, what are they doing with that blood? If you're in hospital, they usually take like four different. They draw blood out of your body like 4 times a day. You know what I mean? Like, yo, there's no way all this blood is just being analyzed and tossed out. Nah, they doing shit with that. 100%. You best believe that. What do you think about 1308 on the ID? We talking about the driver's license? I mean, yeah, if they'll take it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know where you are, but here in Maryland, I think I've used the UCC 1308 here in Maryland, without prejudice. And yeah, it's a go. It's a go. It ain't give me no shit at all. So yeah, it's a go. Here, I don't know about there though. Cannon Hotep, what up, man? Yo, if y'all into the Second Amendment and y'all into that freedom talk, please go subscribe to my man Cannon Hotep's channel. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Thank you so much. I'm about to change my format. I take your advice too. We're about to change the format on this channel too. It's about to get a lot more professional. I'm about to get some software to change some things around. So if things are a little weird, I might have to do a test run and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get everything right. So we're gonna update this format a little bit. It's obvious why it's not our right. It's not out right away. One, research. Two, they release once they know they can make money on the slaves. Three, it can control the slaves in a way or another for data mining. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, let me ask y'all a question, man. How do y'all think it's a situation where they actually making persons for the whole uh hmm, human traffi? You know what I mean? I don't want to say the words. They funny about that on YouTube. But do you think it's a possibility that they could actually be growing persons for that? And does the persons that are grown by the people playing God, do those persons have the same rights as people? What do y'all think about that? Like, do they have the right to pursue the happiness, the whole Constitution? Do they have those rights? Or are they just following the statutes, codes, and regulations? That's my question. I mean, because the statutes say persons, individuals, which is persons a lot of times. Millions, yes, indeed. Women will want that. You think women will want that? I don't. I talked to a few women that said they wouldn't, man. They don't like that idea. You know, I don't think so. Yeah, you took yours. That's good. That's good, man. Someone's been watching the Felix Floyd show. What happened? What I miss? What I miss, Floyd? I need to watch this show. I need to get on your show. But what I miss, man? Salute. Yes, indeed. 20 to 50 years before they release the new technology. I thought it might be longer than that, Floyd. It might be long. It depends on the technology too, though. Like they're not going to release the anti-gravity devices they have anytime soon. They're not going to ever release that cloaking technology. They've had that cloaking technology since the 80s at least, where they can actually throw a cloak over and make the soldiers completely invisible. Like they're not releasing that. There's literally no practical use for that for civilians in their eyes. So they'll make clones of clones of clones. Well, the clones, respectively, the clones they'll get more. The copies will reduce in quality per each time you clone it. That's just a rule of reality. If you take a piece of paper, right, and you make a copy of it in a copying machine, and then you just keep doing that same process for a whole week, like 5 times a day, by the time you get to that last copy of that last day of the week and you compare it to the first one, it's gonna be so blurry, bro. Because every time you make a copy of a copy, it's not the same. You literally have to make copies of the same one. But that's persons though. Legal fictions than a legal fiction, right? So they actually literally got straw men out here. They got the actual legal fictions with bodies. Like that's insane, bro. That's crazy. The sheep is a distraction for those who are asleep. Who gives a who? He's telling the truth. I know Gregor Mendel actually was able to clone those. I think was it Greg? I think it was Gregor Mendel. I think it was Gregor Mendel who actually cloned the plants. And then there was uh who was that guy that cloned the peanuts? He did the genetic tampering with the peanuts or whatever it was. Can't remember his name at the time. Was it George Washington Carver? I think. Invasion of Body Snatchers, the faculty, and sci-fi science rolled into one. All that, the Body Snatchers was crazy. The faculty was another movie too, where they actually had the same scenario. Yeah, that's that's some deep shit. The faculty, I remember that movie. What's the point in creating all these persons anyway? Are they the only ones who can tell the difference between us and them? Dude, you can look in. Let me tell you something, bro. You can, like, I would say about like 95% of the time, you can literally look in somebody's eyes and see if there's something up with them or not. Like, literally. I've been in situations in the last 2 weeks where I look people square in the eyes and something just don't look right. Either they, the pupils ain't right or just the expression is off. You know what I mean? It's a lot to it. Data mining, when you go, they can clone people and say, oh, hey, they can't get away. Shit, they do that to celebrities, yo. Like they be saying Eminem, that's like they on the like 6th copy of Eminem. I was talking to Super Sly 75, and he was saying that they at least on the like 5th or 6th copy of Eminem. Eminem originally died in a car accident in 1998 after he came out. He was leaving I think a Dr. Dre's party or something. Dr. Dre has a house in the hills. He was leaving the party or something like that. He died in a car accident. And it actually went out on the internet too. It was like a little murmur on the internet, and they said it was a hoax. They came out and said it was a hoax, and they had Eminem out again. Shit, motherfucker overdosed and shit. Like, dude, it's been a few Eminems. And if you look at that one video when Eminem was spaced out when they were interviewing him on I think it was one of them NFL shows or something. It might have been a college football show, but dude was literally gone. He was just sitting there spaced out. They were saying it was MK Ultra or something like that too. You can only clone a human up to 7 times. I've heard. That's they probably just turn into sludge after that. Crazy. Clone run by Raelians. I'm gonna look up that, yo. I got it written down. I'm gonna look up that. I'm gonna look up that. Definitely. I'm looking that up. Most definitely they doing that. Hell yeah. They even have the underground joints too. What? Hell yeah. Absolutely. Probably no right since they're a clone on some Eon Flux type shit. Right. They might just be literally controlled, man, because, at that point, they start controlling them. Excuse me, when they start cloning them, they literally can tell them whatever they want. There was a movie that came out a few years ago where there was actually a factory. They were cloning, like, they were cloning politicians and stuff like that. And, like, these 2 clones got out and they ran into the politicians that they were clones of. And like, it was like a big thing. I can't remember what that movie was called. It was a dude and a dude and a lady that escaped the facility. And they actually managed to get away and they found the clones and they tried to introduce themselves and the clones panicked and they called the factory like, yo, all this money I pay you guys and the fucking clones escaped. This is bullshit. What the fuck? Like, dude, that's crazy. I also tried to get my passport because of 900 in arrears. They didn't send it. Plus, I thought the amount was 2,500 for them to withhold my passport from me. What you think? You're right. It is 2,500. It is 2,500. They on some bullshit, man. Send them the law. Send them the law. Certified mail it. Like, go ahead and print up the law that you find for whatever rule you find. Print that up. make a notarized copy, put an affidavit in, and certified mail it, get a return receipt so they can't say they didn't get it. Give them 7 days. If they don't reply to you in 7 days, they'll fault them out. And then, you might have to take their ass to court on that bullshit. Because that's crazy. That's crazy. In the meantime, you could probably mess around and get one of them world citizen passports. I did a video on the clones of cloning. I'm gonna check that out, Floyd. I haven't been seeing your notifications pop up either, man. I have the bell on. That's all. I haven't seen your notifications pop up at all. Have you been tested in court with your status and so on? They wouldn't even let me in the damn courthouse, chief. Like, I posted a video on that. Like, geez, how long ago was that? Was that was December? They wouldn't even let me in the courthouse. So I wouldn't even let me in the courthouse, man. They try to get me to answer some medical questions. I'm like, are y'all medical representatives? Get the fuck out my face. I ain't answering no medical questions. Fuck out of here. Dirty G, correct your status. Yes, to have the main copy. Movie Multiplicity showed that. Yes, have to have the main copy. Yes. Agreed. Sorry, I'm off topic. I know clones are real. They're trying to hide. But it's too much information out there. Agreed. World passport. Yeah. The world passport. Yes, sir. Y'all know about the world passport, man. Yo, go on. You can even use like one of them lazy search machines and just put in world citizen passport. You can literally get your world citizen passport and whatever affidavit you want attached, they'll attach it for you, man. I gotta get mine. I've been slacking. I really gotta get mine. I was gonna get a Conch Republic passport too. You can get one of those. Conch Republic's off the what is that? It's off the tail of Key West. They actually declared themselves their own sovereign nation. They kept getting left out of all the agreements the United States of America was making. So they said, fuck it, and fuck y'all. We're gonna go ahead and just be a separate nation. It's in Key West, I believe, Florida. How did it make you feel when you're that up and close and personal, look in their eyes? I thought it was funny because when I was in AZ, bro, when I was in Arizona, I went to this it was like a museum, and they had like a bunch of, they had all the indigenous, ones that the descendants of the Aboriginals, which we know the original Aboriginals, the original Americans were dark skinned, and they were knotty haired. They had hair like mine, and they were very dark. Some of them were like redder skinned than too, so there was different kinds. There wasn't just one kind. Is my point. But the ones that always get put out in the public are the lighter skinned ones. So I go to this library, this museum. It wasn't a library, it was a museum. So I go to this museum and I'm talking to these two ladies, looking at all these artifacts they got for sale. So they got all this jewelry, expensive ass indigenous jewelry for sale. So I'm looking at this old lady and she's sitting across from this other lady. So when I walk in, they got quiet. So I turned around and was like, oh, y'all got a lot of stuff in here, huh? What else do y'all have for sale inside the museum? And she was like, yeah, a lot of this stuff is real old, such and such. It comes from such and such tribe, and the other things we have in the museum are from other tribes that were smaller. So I point to this one it was like a carpet they had on the walls, a giant carpet or quilt it might have been that was made, but it looked like it was indigenous, but it had swastikas on it, right? Now, me being a man of culture, I know the swastikas didn't originally have a negative connotation. If you look at the Japanese usage of the swastika has a completely different meaning than it did here in the States. The swastika was a symbol of tranquility, peace, and what is it? Tranquility, peace, and there's another word that basically means, well-being and, positivity. That's what it is. So the swastikas that had one in each corner, then they had like a little buffalo skull or whatever like that. So I said, yeah, that's wasn't that originally the sign in Japan for peace and tranquility? And she says, yeah, well, it has a different meaning over there, and over here it kind of got twisted up from the use of it by Hitler, this, that, and the third. And then she says, if you go to certain areas of Brazil, the swastika is used in certain areas. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of the Nazis, not only did they come to America, a lot of them went to Brazil. So there's a whole pocket in certain parts of Brazil you go to where the people actually have blonde hair and blue eyes. They aren't like brown skinned and dark curly hair and stuff like that. They look 100% European. So like there's little pockets and enclaves. They're not racist or nothing like that, but they pretty much, they stay to themselves. They don't really intermingle with anybody else, which is interesting there because that's probably, what their ancestors believed in. So I get to talking to this lady, and then I'm looking at her while she's talking to me, and she's a European looking lady, blue eyes, and her pupil was like real. It was like an oval, kind of like a skinny oval, like a cat or a reptile or something. So I looked her square in the eyes. I didn't say nothing. I just looked at her. And then when I looked at her, I think she know I noticed, and she looked away immediately. And she looked at the lady across from her, and I was talking to the lady across. She never looked at me again the whole time I was there. So I went ahead and left. I'm like, yo, I know you. You ain't who you pretending to be. God damn it. Why is this thing all blurry? There we go. But yeah, so yeah, there's that. But you look a lot of these mofos in the eyes, man, and they're not what they seem. They have no soul. Facts. They started cloning animals way back. So what in anyone's mind would make them think that they have stopped? Yeah, right. Dude, I just seen some weird experiments, yo. Not even just cloning, like they do gene splicing too. Like they'll literally take an animal and a human and create like a connection, and they'll breed something that looks absolutely abominable. Like I seen a rabbit with a man's face. That shit was awful looking. Like I don't want to see that shit at all. The Island of Dr. Moreau kind of crap. You know what I mean? So what in anyone's mind would make them think they have stopped and tell us about, let alone they hardly tell us about our food and try to be all. The Island was the movie. I think The Island is was the movie. I'm talking about The Island of Dr. Moreau. I thought that's what he was talking about. Sounds about right. Why they ain't clone Shorty Loc? Shorty Loc. I don't know, man. I can't answer that, bro. You'll own nothing and be happy, controlled by FEMA technology neural nets. Jesus Christ. It's a big ass word. It was called The Island. There's a video of professor that claimed, there's a video of professor that cloned himself and had to split all his earnings. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, there's no way that's real. I don't believe that. That's absurd. Yo, that's crazy. Mac Boom, my swag is my passport. My man. Oh, here we go. We got the game in here. My man, Mac Bones. All right, man. That's what's up. Good to have you here, Chief. Thanks, man. Where did you learn most of your solid information? I've listened to a lot of the quote unquote gurus, but I just basically call them elders. Jonah Bay, Yusuf El. I've read books, few books. I've talked to other nationals. I've gone out there and been in the fire. You pretty much got to really just do a lot of reading, learning, and testing the knowledge. But yeah, I don't claim to know everything. I'm still learning a lot. I learned from you guys a lot. That's why I'm here taking notes. You'll literally see me on these live streams. You'll literally see me taking notes from these guys in here, man, because they teach me too, man. It ain't just me talking. I'm in here learning also. I gotta watch The Island. This is Grindtown. What up, brother? Peace. My many blessings. The Black Jaguar. God be upon you from Jaguar, the Black Jaguar. Teach Mac Bone. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for tuning in. Carolina, she says in Argentina. What I miss with that? What you mean? Make sure your name is correct in proper form, upper and lower. Absolutely. Definitely that. Should I go as far as to say all lower? You know what I mean? Make it hard for them. Shit. The movie Iron Sky points that out. Yeah, you are suppressed. You know how it is though, man. When you out here talking the way we talking, bro, they're not gonna push that shit forward. They don't want they don't want people to know this stuff. It's just the First Amendment's a bitch. You know what I mean? You can't tell the truth on this platform. Yeah. I was thinking about going to BitChute, yo, but dude, it ain't enough people on BitChute, man. I'll be honest. Ain't enough people on there, bro. How can you tell when someone don't have a soul? Yo, it's one of them things. It's one of them things I can't explain, bro. Like you know how you can look at somebody and tell they up to something, or you can just sense like some odd kind of energy. You know what I mean? I had this dude when I was collecting some water earlier from the spring. This weird ass mofo, man. He just had a weird energy about him. You know what I mean? I can't explain it, yo. It's not one of them things I can explain. You know, you might have to change up, like you might have to start meditating. You know, start sun gazing, start drinking natural spring water from the spring to be able to develop that sixth sense. I can't explain that though, but I can just see it. You know what I mean? Name of the original melody Native Americans, North, Central, South, are the Olmec. Yes, sir, the Olmec people. Totem of the Olmec. Olmec people is the black jaguar equals the panther. Drop the mic on that one. Fire. Sneaky. Yeah, the Olmec, Olmec, Black Jaguar, Panther, Teacher, Priest, Warrior in the chat. Me, Mac Bone. Yes, you do. I got a video of a human tiger, Shamara. Yo, you said a human tiger? Oh, that's crazy. Do I feel threatened by the clones? Nah, no, I don't. Not at all. Not at all. One, I can fight. So any other clone of me, I will whip his ass. Yeah, you can't clone. You can't clone 9 years of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Good luck, motherfucker. You might look like me, but don't come up to me with that bullshit. The journey of the master teacher and the student are one. Facts. Now, life is the real master teacher. Please do not shoot. Word. All right, look, we coming up about that time. I got a couple more videos I'm gonna show you guys. Matter of fact, I'm gonna shorten it down because we already an hour and 11 minutes in. I'm gonna show y'all one more video. Please beware because they are doing big swindles out here when you try to pull your gasoline. We already know not to put our cards inside the gas machines that sit outside because they have what's called skimmers that will pull your information from your credit card and they will be able to use your information at another location and it will look like you were there. You cannot get your money back. It's happened to me. Do not let it happen to you. All right. So, with that said, don't use your card on those machines, but also be sure what gas you pumping is for that machine because there's some swindle management going on out here. Take a look at what my man's out here doing to people.
Video, a man caught on camera swapping gas pumps. It happened at a Roseville AM/PM station. So basically, what happens is you think you are putting gas into your car, but the alleged thief has your nozzle and is actually putting gas in his car, and you are paying for it. Here at ABC 10, we stand for you. Roseville police recently came right here on Late News Tonight to warn of a possible increase in gas theft.
They, on the other side of the island, are actually using your nozzle to steal gas. We've seen a few cases historically where this has worked, and we've been able to fortunately catch people.
In 2019, Roseville police.
All right, so hold on. So what the dude was basically doing,
you are paying for it.
My man was taking the pump, right? What he'll do is he'll switch the pumps. He'll switch the actual nozzles and put one nozzle in one spot and take the other nozzle and put it in his. So when you putting money in number 5, he on the other side at number 4, he's getting your gas, pumping the gas, and then he dip off. You go back in to see what's going on with it, and they like, yo, it looked like you pumped the gas, but little did you know, this man just swindled you and took your gas. People out here getting over, man. So please be careful when you out here pumping gas. Don't be out here sloppy. Don't get caught slipping. To find out if a person has a soul or not, master the art of using reading auras. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Frequencies and vibrations. Yes, sir. My man just said that. You got to trust your instinct a lot of times. Not everything is tangible, man. It's a lot of stuff that there's not talked about or not mentioned. You just got to trust your gut. When they say trust your gut, that's facts. Yo, whatever feeling you get about something, if it don't feel like it is right or something is off, it probably is. You got to trust your instinct. Jason Bay, Yusuf L. Nationals and books. You have a resource list of true information, and not all is true and not all works. A resource list of, oh, you mean the books I actually read? I got a bunch of books. All right, let me see. I got a few here I can put you on with. One of the ones I'm reading right now is this one right here. Obviously, just start reading that. I'm on volume 1, The Art of Passing the Buck. I showed you guys that plenty of times. I also looked into Creditors and Their Bonds is another book I actually read. Um, Invisible Contracts is another one. I think it's George Mercer. Invisible Contracts is pretty good. I haven't even finished this one yet either. I got a bunch of books I'm still working on. This one is Fruit from a Poisonous Tree. This is one, the guy was an ex-CIA agent. He's basically spilling the tea on that. Of course, there's Behold the Pale Horse, William Cooper. Read that book. You know, there's a lot of books I pretty much, there's so many I'm not even talking about right now. Paper Trip is also a series that's very interesting. Shout out to my man for putting me on with a Paper Trip. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Not all is true and not all works, but there's some considerable stuff. One cannot clone the soul. That's what I'm saying. 100%. Wait, so do we pay inside? Yeah, what I usually do, if you want to pay for gas, go inside, right? Instead of going to one of them kiosks where they make you where they they make you do the labor and charge you more for the gas. They're making you work, do what their employees are supposed to do, and they're not paying you for it. They're charging you more for the gas. So I say, look, let me just go inside this little rest spot, whatever, and tell the representative, I need the service on the far end. Have them come over to the register, not the little kiosk, but the register, and then pay for your gasoline like that, and then go back out and pump your gas. I don't even mess with those little skimmer joints because when you put your card in them, they can have like a little overlay that steals all your data off your credit card. It actually happened to me before. They'll steal it off the chip. So yeah, I would suggest going inside. Strongly suggest going inside. When a man or woman don't have a soul, they're empty and stiff, like a walking Terminator. Like he or she is just there, just a demon wearing someone's skin. I mean, another way you can spot them is if they still wearing masks right now, bro. If they still wearing masks, there's nothing. The lights are on, but nobody's home. So, you know, please do BitChute because let me tell you something. I was watching Consumer Money Team one day, and the broski puts out great information about credit on YouTube. Shut him down. Oh shit. What's his name? Watching Consumer Money Team. Check that out. So they got him out of there, huh? Yeah, I don't talk about the credit cards and some of the credit stuff I know on here. That's for consultations. If y'all need a consultation, hit me up. Let me know what you need, and if I can help you, I will. I will help you out and set you up with a consultation. If I cannot, I can definitely point you in the right direction. My email is shit. I'm tripping. My banner is supposed to be right here. My email is right there at the bottom of my banner, which I just pulled up because I just went blank. Forgot. All right. Yeah. So if you need a consultation, hit me up for that. I got you. Has anyone smelled gas while they're pumping lately? Somebody else said that too. Somebody else said like, "Yo, I don't smell gas anymore." That's because they watering that shit down. It's very simple what they doing. They watering it down, bro. You're not gonna smell it. The gas is not as strong because they cutting it. They cutting the freaking gas. You're right. I don't smell gas anymore. I used to always smell gas when I pump it. You don't smell it no more because it's thinned out. That's why it's burning out so fast. It's probably tearing our engines up for real too. What I would suggest doing too, man, it might be a good idea to get some of that what is that stuff called? Octane booster. You can go right to Pep Boys, AutoZone, something like that, and you can get what's called Octane Booster. And what it basically does when you drop it in the gas tank, it increases the octane amount in your gas, which is always good for cars. So if they're watering the gas down and you drop some octane booster in, it'll bring the level back up. So the 87, the 91, and the 97, 93 or whatever it is, that gas right there is what the octane level is supposed to be at minimum. So when you pump regular gas, the minimum is 87, and then anything above that, pretty much it fluctuates. I'll be honest with you, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if everything ain't what it seems to be with that. So you can probably, if you feel like you have a performance car or something, you can get what's called octane booster and drop it right in your gas tank, and it'll bring up the octane level a little bit. You'll notice better gas mileage, smoother engine idle, stuff like that. So what do you think about us being taught the world map upside down? I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna say the world map is not only upside down. That shit is stuff is in the wrong in the wrong location. Some of these flights and stuff where they go to, and like you got to go past these weird paths on flights. Some of that stuff don't make no damn sense, man. I can't remember which flights connect to where, but you can't take flights to two places that are supposed to be real close to each other. You got to go around this place and that. I'll be honest with you, man. I think the whatever map they showed us is completely It's completely fucked up. 24-hour gas stations in Jersey where attendants are mandatory keep those things from happening. See, we ain't got that here, man. We don't have that here. Maryland, we don't have it. You get out and pump it your damn self. Yeah, we don't have that. Well, skimmers, I see they do that and they flip up the lip on the machine. Yeah, that too. Yep. Fuel consumption is real. The master one's instincts, guts, intuition, master the arts of breathing, concentration, and meditation. Also get out there and work out too. See my man with the boxing gloves on. Get out there and throw some hands on the bag. Get some energy used. Paper arrows. You're welcome, my man. What was the first book you showed? The first book? Oh, this right here. This is called The Art of Passing the Buck by Charles Arthur. The Secrets of Wills and Trusts. This book helped me understand trusts a whole lot. This book right here, bro, like you literally can get the ins and outs of trust. It's lawyers make it to be out super complicated and all that, but once you really learn how a trust works, it doesn't have to be as complex as they make it to be, depending on how you have it set up, of course. That dude is a real piece of shit. Facts is straight up pulled off. Hey, let me tell you something, bro. Like, that's how you get the shit beat out you doing something like that. Like, out here, you might actually get shot doing that in Baltimore. Facts. Self-awareness flows hand in hand with environmental awareness and situational awareness. Facts. Quantum computing system runs as bits of subatomic femtoscale and atomic picoscale, molecular nanoscale, femto, and pico technologies allegedly do not exist. My man's talking about the fabric of reality. He going in. But I know the U.S. patent holder and the shot is these technologies using DARPA's brain initiative program to rewire the brain. Wow. We talking about DARPA now? Damn. So you think it did all that, huh? Appreciate it. This is the lifestyle for sure. No doubt, no doubt. Like knowing how to defend yourself to survive. 100%. It turns you into a GMO, patentable, your own nothing and be. Yep. Hey, you know what? I read that the law last year about that, where if you actually there's a percentage of DNA that has been changed or something like that, they can actually patent you. Fact. That's a fact. You're right about that. This is why I always put gas treatment in. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, the octane booster gas treatment. See if a person has a soul. See if they have an aversion to the sunlight. Solar plexus is other persuasions of the human to have a lunar moon plexus, not a solar plexus. My man gets super technical. So y'all was asking how to tell if somebody got a soul or not. He got the answers. Yeah, the clones definitely are wearing masks and still. The clones. In a whip by themselves with the mask. Yo, you know what kills me? When I see people walking down the street with a mask on, like, yo, are you afraid of air? Like, yo, and it's not even an N95 mask. It'll be like a bandana put over their face. Like, bro, it's literally not doing anything at all. You're wearing a piece of cloth on your face and you're walking down the street. Why, yo? Now I get you got the, right to express yourself and all that stuff. Absolutely right. But dude, y'all killing me out here, man. Not y'all, but they're killing me out here. The LGBTQ mob, and then that's why I only watched the first season and the last one. All right, let me go ahead and drop this link in here, peoples. Drop this link. If anybody wants to hop in, drop some words of wisdom or anything like that, feel free to hop in and do so. Yo, that's crazy because I was just talking about that with another national from here, and we'd be like, "Yo, why does it seem like people are like the way they move is real slow now?" Like you just be trying to go and like people are in the way and stuff like that. People and they've always been doing it like in the fast lane. You know what I mean? You'll have somebody in the fast lane going 50 miles an hour. Like, yo, get the fuck out the way. That's why Ludacris made that song, man. But like now it's like most people is all over the place just doing like 45 on the highway. Around here, got that speed limit 60, 65. Like, why are you moving so slow? Get out the way, man. For real. I'm an airplane pilot for the last 25 years. I can teach you about the map of the world. Yes. Hey, the live joint is right there. If you want to get on live, you can definitely do so. I'm starting to see more Teslas on the road. Yeah, me too. I've seen a few more Teslas. Hybrids are starting to pop up all over the place. That's how it starts, man. Remember, I was telling you guys that the first thing they're going to do is make gas really, really expensive, and they're going to usher in them electric cars. If y'all want to make sure y'all come out on the good end of this, start investing in them electric cars. I would recommend China or any of them other companies that have electric cars. Fisk is another one you want to keep your eye on, an American company that makes electric vehicles. Keep your eye on that, all right? If you want to come out on the winning end of this, man, start investing in them electric cars. 'Cause I'm telling you, the way this stuff's going, man, and there literally is no reason for it because if they really wanted to make sure gas was cheap, that pipeline wouldn't have been shut down. But the fact that the pipeline's completely been cut off, you know, gasoline's expensive as hell. But again, it's a force. They're changing things in order to move into this electric city, electric society type thing. Recommend reading the book The Solar Plexus by Theron Q. Dumont. You told me about that book before. I haven't got it yet though. I know one word that will have ER body buck. Trump. Everybody buck. Everybody. Oh, got you. My bad, man. I'm kind of retarded when it comes to some words. The reconstructed people and enslaved them. It's like the highway speed limit is 45 and the street limit is 15. It's insane, man. And look, people always move like that, Joe, but now it's exacerbated now. Like, yo, what is happening right now, man? It's all them people that got poked, they all connected now. They're all in the same circuit. I'm gonna go as far as to say you might even be at 5G using them for antennas to broadcast signals to make them all move in unison. This is why we gotta be careful who we lay down with and all that stuff. Who you put your lips on. Don't just be out here with anybody, man. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I swear up and down that shit is transmitted, man. Well, not transmitted, boy, but passed on, if you want to call it that. Oh my god, I noticed there's people are hesitant driving on a damn green arrow. It's crazy. It's because we still unplugged. We're not plugged in. They're plugged all the way into the matrix now. They are plugged all the way in. The pilot. I don't know if she's gonna hop on though. She might not hop on in the 100 in the heat to 100-degree weather. Facts. Charge point is a good one, in my opinion. What you talking about, Rhodes? With a mask on in 100-degree weather, dude. Listen, and here in Maryland, it's humid. Like, bro, 95 out here feels like it's unbearable because you can't damn breathe. The air is so moisturized. Like one breath is like the equivalent of like 5 breaths in another state like Arizona. And when I was out there, that 110-degree weather was nothing. I'm like, yo, this shit is lovely. I can breathe. The damn shit ain't humid. You know what I mean? The sun just beating the shit out of me, but shit, the sun beat the hell out of you in Maryland too. Like that shit was easy work. I'm like, yo, I could get used to this. Like fuck around and move out here. But yo, that man, Maryland is, bro, you can't breathe when it's out here. It's so humid. Research Regulation Z exemption. If you have a mortgage, you can get it paid off, and all the money you ever paid is sent back to you. Regulation Z exemption. Okay. All right. Just wrote that down. That sounds interesting. Just build an electric car yourself. Yo, that's a thought, man. You could build the water operated car like that dude that the psychological operations subject did. You know what I mean? Had his YouTube showing how to build a water operated car, and then they psyoped him. What about the engines that run on water? Or ask Angela, can you fly to California? Hey, yo, this guy. Yo, my man right here is, he swear up and down the earth is round. I ain't got no beef, yo, but nah. My man, Finest saying, "Hey, yo, Finest, get on here live, bro. I see you in the green room, Mac. I got you, yo. I got you. I see you in the green room. Give me a second. I got you, Chief. Yo, I'm gonna need you to get on here too, man. I'm gonna need. Yeah, my man. What's up, though, man? How you been, bro? Supreme Court just made that possible with a court division last week. Fire. Yeah, I just wrote it down. I'm gonna look into that. Supreme Court, huh? Damn, now I'm thinking invest in lithium mining companies and graphene battery companies. Yeah, yeah. I've also heard a trusted source of mine say start investing in water too. Start investing in water and ammunition. Yeah, so I've heard a trusted source of mine put me on with that. So, move how you wanna. Gas is artificially high. Last time oil was 120 a barrel. Gas was $3.50 a gallon. Now nearly $5 a gallon for almost the same price of oil. Yep. All right, look, I got in the green room my man Mac, aka Jagger. He changed his name on this one. Let's go with you, champ.
Hey, brother, I just like to say peace and many blessings of the great Black Jaguar God be unto you.
Yes, sir.
You know Big Pontiac Time Lord, aka 8-Win Eagle, right?
Now put me down.
Yeah, Big Pontiac Time Lord.
Big Pontiac Time
Have you
Lord?
heard of him?
Nah, put me down.
Yeah. Well, he's a close associate of Super Slide 75.
Okay.
And I just want to tell you, I went through like a painful muscular transformation about last year. That night in April, where I got hit with the Black Jaguar power, the Panther power. And
Okay.
I meditated upon my life and everything. I realized that those who are blessed with Panther, Black Jaguar medicine have a hard time dealing with anger management. And that's been one of my issues ever since I was 7 years old. So I also noticed that I can see pretty good in the dark like ain't nothing. I remember a long time ago, I scared the shit out of my brother by moving real soft and soft in the dark like a panther. He's been wondering how come I make my size can move so silent and everything. So I'm also a Leo, by the way, and the totem connection to astrological sign Leo is the cats.
You're right.
And the cats are also the totem embodiment of body mind mastery. Which is also known as the way of the peaceful warrior. And my Native American medicine name is 7 Moons Epic Peaceful Warrior.
What is it? What did it say it again?
7 Moons Epic.
7 Moons Epic.
Peaceful Warrior.
Okay.
And medicine name Peaceful Warrior. Medicine means a special spiritual, occult, mystical power. Right. And when you think of the Peaceful Warrior, you think of these guys like Kwai Chang Caine of the Kung Fu series.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the Jedi of Star Wars. So I've been talking behind the scenes on the phone with certain YouTube content creators like Super Slide 75. I remember the first time I talked to him, I called him during the live when he was up there breaking down the movie Body and Soul. And I told him that back in the day, because I'm born in 1969, and Body and Soul came out in 81 while I was 12 years old. So I had to sneak out of my mama's house and go to my cousin's house to watch the movie. It was during the time you had those cable boxes where you had to press the button down to get the channel and everything. And my mom used to be pissed off, man, when she couldn't make the button pop back up. Yeah. Yeah, so we as a generation, Gen Xers, have to think of creative ways to entertain ourselves. I mean, I would like write poetry and everything. And the people on the panel was wondering how they're able to rhyme on time so much. I said, well, I was like a poet in the poetry slams back in the day. It was in my early late 20s, in the 90s. So it was during the time, man, I became familiar with Taoism and Zen Buddhism. Joa, the guy that taught me boxing, he mentored me in Zen Buddhism and vegetarianism. But this book right here, The Way of Life, according to Lao She, I first read this book back in 1987 when I went to Arkansas Governor School. And I took a picture with the then Arkansas Governor Bill Clinton. So I've met some of these 13 Floyd guys up close because Clinton is related to the Rockefellers. And they've been running Arkansas since 1825.
That's a DBA. Clinton is a DBA.
Yeah. And he's a cousin to the Rockefellers because when he was a governor of Arkansas, one of the Rockefellers was a lieutenant governor, Winthrop Rockefeller, the 4th or 5th, I believe.
So when you were around this man, did you notice anything? Did you feel like, because you've been reading these books and learning how to feel and sense over?
I noticed a certain subtle vibration coming off him. I wasn't really sure as it was because I didn't just, reading that book, The Way of Life, was my start onto the path. You know what I'm saying? Onto the path, the way, life force. So things start opening up to me because my mama's people, the Choctaw, their icon totem is the fox. And the fox medicine is one of my allies or powers. And in Spanish is known as Zorro. And thing about it, one of the first martial arts I took besides boxing was swordsmanship, European fencing and Japanese swordsmanship.
Yo, I heard the fencing, like it really increases your balance and your agility too. You got to be real agile to do fencing.
Hey, you remember that movie, The Highlander, starring Christopher Lambert and
Sean Connery? That could only be one, yo.
Yeah, he was singing that word BALANC, balance. So he was teaching the dude balance. He said Highlander, you overextended your thrust, therefore putting yourself off balance. Lose your head and it's over. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about immortality and longevity, because self-actualization is mastery of soul, mind, and body flowing in oneness. And that's why I gleaned from one of my meditations. I think the longest time I ever meditated was about a long time ago, an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's a long meditation there.
Yeah.
You still sun gaze?
So when yeah, I still do. I mean, it's pretty interesting, man, about Amun Ra. I remember one of the ancient celestial ones, Shango, called me Khonshu. And there was a friend of mine named Toriano, who was of the Yoruba tradition, while my dad's ancestry was of the voodoo, Igwe tradition, the Dahamean Empire of Benin and Togo. In other words, the Dahameans, the Igwe, and the Fon people. So Mama Wata, or Mama Zobe, who's the head of the Mama Wata Healing Society in Atlanta, Georgia, she told me to be careful about dealing with the Yoruba because the Yoruba and the Igwe have been a long time enemies. But then I realized that by me helping this friend of mine who is Yoruba, I was able to maybe make peace between our genetic tribes, by helping him.
Right.
And here's the funny thing, man. I remember, man, when I was up there meeting his people, I was wearing a blazer, a Kango, and some Stacey Adams dress shoes, and some dress pants and everything. I wasn't wearing no onk or nothing. And when I started speaking, the whole room went quiet. I said, wait, who's this dude in the fancy Kango wearing the pimp clothes speaking like this?
Pimp clothes, word.
Yeah. So, that's the thing, when the student is ready, the master teacher will appear. And some of the mentors that I've met, they weren't wearing like a whole bunch of onks and African medallions or whatnot. They were just wearing regular clothes.
Right.
Because it's all about being able to read and sense auras, frequencies, and vibrations. That's how it always worked.
My man Jordan Thomas.
Part of reading people.
Let me cut in real quick. My man Jordan Thomas says, you think CERN was a hoax like the moon landing? What do you think about that, man?
Yeah. I mean, it is a hoax because they put these hoaxes up there to distract you from the truth, which is you. And the more that you're distracted, the more they can use us melanated people as a battery. This whole planet is the matrix. This whole planet is a prison.
Right.
Like
right.
A prison
of souls. You know what I was thinking about today, yo? You break down the word planet, planets, like they got a planet. They planned the whole entire thing. That's why they call it a planet. You know what I'm talking about? I thought about that. Like,
The plan of extraterrestrials. Yeah, the plan of ETs, extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings. And the thing is, there are interdimensional beings that look like us. Because think about it. Most of the aliens that will look like us will be melanated folks. The NSA threatened these astronaut scientists when they used the microscope, saw black people stepping off starships onto the asteroid belt of Saturn. And they told them that NSA, National Security Agency, told them if they revealed this information, they and the people that they love would be liquidated, neutralized. So the thing about the NSA, NSA is the intelligence agency that's allowed to operate domestically in the United States, because when the CIA had a hard time doing what it was doing in-house in the United States, one of them branched off and turned into a national security agency. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Because the guy that taught me martial arts, Northern Self-Star Pre-Master Kung Fu, he was the ex-CIA NOC, non-official covert operative. And the way he was training me in Kung Fu, he was training me to be a living weapon, an assassin. So I am familiar with certain ways that these people on YouTube, they have no idea what the world is on the outside, man. I mean, and they think I'm kidding when I tell them, no. There are people that are a lot more insidious and dangerous than you. These type of people, man, will come into your place under cover of darkness, slit your throat before you even know it.
Yep.
And I was trained by one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then you know the reason why he had to leave, he sensed that I was up there traveling the way of the sage. You know, because Taoism means the way of simplicity. It also means the way path of the sage, the wise one, or the real human being. Because if you look at the word Homo sapien, it means man who is wise and intelligent. Homo means man, sapien in the language means wise and intelligent. So therefore, if you're a wise person sage, you are a real human being, because you're being what nature made you to be, a Homo sapien, a man who's wise and intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're being a dumbass or a shithead, you're being the unman, the unreal man. So, I was up there entertaining them. I mean, here's the thing, man. Every time I try to go deep on certain things, I say, hey, Matt Bones, you're going too deep, man. And the people that called me Matt Bone was the Macosphere, Platinum Elite, Sir Ism, and DJ Kuda. Like Sir Ism, now those guys call me Matt Bone. So it was like a trip. It was like a trip, right? I'd be messing with Sir Ism. He said, and you know what I told him? I said, Sir Ism, you're the chili cold that is very bold, therefore never gets old. And then Sir Ism be trying to rhyme. And then I would tease him. I said, well, Brother Ism, do you have a rhyme at this time? I mean, because see, the way I teach game according to the verb and the curve. So they call me Mac Bone Man because my game emanates from my bones, my bone marrow.
Right.
The chi of my bones and bone marrow. Because there's a certain Taoist and Zen Buddhist technique called bone marrow Nikon. And after meditation, you know what I showed you about being a horse stance?
Yeah.
Moving the energy lines of Shin, Ki, and Jing. That's part of the bone marrow Nikon training, along with the brain purification training. So when you know how to purify your bone marrow, guess what? You purify your neurons. Because the bone marrow is the farmland of the neurons that make up your central nervous system.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's also where it produces the blood. So when you know how to master the oxygenation of your blood and bone marrow, you make yourself stronger. In other words, you become the iron monk, the iron Lohan, where you turn your whole body, not just your fists, to iron. That's why Iron Fist ain't got nothing on Bruce Leroy or Ken Shure Fist No Star, because they make their whole body glow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've heard a lot of the ancient stuff is actually real. Yeah.
What they said about Hokuto Shinken, and Hokuto Shinken, the Fist of the North Star Master is able to use the rest of the 70%. Yeah, and that was one of my favorite anime growing up. And see,
Fist of the North Star was dope.
DJ Kuda said, Matt Bone, they don't realize, man, even though you're 52 years old, you one of the Gen X's, man, they're thoroughly a fan of anime.
Right.
I've been a fan of anime since Gatchaman G-Force Battle of the Planets. So when I was like a young kid in the late 70s, early 80s, I grew up watching G-Force Battle of the Planets, Gatchaman, Grandizer, Guy King, Star Avengers, Robotech, Mobile Suit Gundam. When they talk
Mobile
about
Suit Gundam, classic.
Eisner Ball. Yes,
Yeah.
I grew up watching those. So
you know what's crazy
my
about the
mom,
Mobile Suit Gundam thing?
yeah,
They actually have
yes,
like, you know, with the Zoner the Enders thing too, with the giant robots. They actually have a functional robot like that in Japan.
of
Did you
course.
see it? That's
Well, I wouldn't be
crazy.
surprised, but
Yeah. Yeah, it's
because
on a level of
after World War II, what the Japanese decided to do, said, okay, we can't win against the Americans on the battlefield side. We win against them on the business and technology side. So they
right.
send their best and brightest to this country ever since the 50s, 60s, and 70s to learn at the best universities. And if you look at that movie Rising Sun, they had those mini discs. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't seen Rise of
This is
Sun.
back in the this is back in the 90s. This is a movie starring Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes. But they talk about the missing disc, and the missing disc was about this big. Yeah, a small disc. So according to the Japanese, business is war.
Right.
So during that time in the 90s, when I was up there going through the military army, I was reading these books. I was reading The Art of War by Sun Tzu, The Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi, one of the greatest sword masters of all time, and The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. And I recommend to young black men, young black folks, especially young black men, you want to start the path of really opening yourself up, first read those three books. Because the Book of Five Rings talks about the strategy of individual combat. The Art of War teaches you how to be a proper general, captain, and colonel, managing the resources and logistics of your soldiers' equipment. And The Prince talks about how to master politics, art, and science of influence, the art of the kingmaker.
True.
You know.
Let me cut in real quick. All right, Mr. T. You know they're putting kill switches in every new car, right? Not to mention EMPs. I'm not surprised. Any
They've been
electric
doing that
car,
since the 90s. Yeah, they've been doing this since the 90s.
any electric
They just
car, I
got
would say you should expect to have a shut-off switch in that bad boy. 100%. I don't know about any of the gasoline cars from the 90s, nothing like that, but yeah.
Now, while learning watching the anime Go-Go 13, there's no such thing as an invincible type of fortress, whatever. You can always figure out a countermeasure to that. So you can learn how to hack into the switch-off system.
Somebody was asking about that too. They were asking, but I think some of them are interfaced with the computer though. But I'm pretty sure if it's a damn computer, it could be hacked just like a phone can be.
I was up there thinking about what DJ Kuda said about the modem board that hooks up your microphones to your laptop and studio and everything. What if that modem board can be used to be a master key to hack into the interface between the electric car and that?
Facts.
And what if you can do it by pretending that you're on a YouTube podcast? Oh, let me touch my button for a minute, and then guess what? You disable the kill switch.
Right.
See, I learned that by watching this anime called Crying Freeman. It's about the guy who sheds tears by killing Dragon Tattoo. And in one episode, Shades of Death, they talked about how to deal with this lady named Kiche. And here's what Crying Freeman said: well, what if she took the place of one of the people in the tournament and had a golf bag? What if there was something else in that golf bag other than the clubs? Catch my meaning? Therefore, the bag will not be checked. So the thing about Crying Freeman, he's a pottery artist, and he would let himself get captured to find out what his enemies were doing. He would use himself as bait, and then while his other folks come in, like Fuchi and Ron, his wife, and Bail San, his sister, to clean up the mess. Yeah.
Interesting
And I
stuff.
learned a lot of game looking at that Crying Freeman, man, because he was a handsome dude. He was an educated dude, a pottery artist, Japanese. And like the Mother Tiger said, like Fu says, hey, his wisdom is in his brow. He has a supple, athletic body.
Right.
And the Kimura sent a lady, a tattoo artist, to kill him, right? And when she looked at Crying Freeman's body, she said she couldn't do it. And in the manga, she turned him over and sucked his dick.
Okay.
And here's what Fu said: an assassin that succeeds with women succeeds forever. So I learned that the end game of Mackin seduction is leverage, power, and sovereignty. It's not sex. It's not money. So when you look at the difference between the player, the pimp, and the Mac, there's the 3 P's of the game: the pussy, the paper, the power. Players focus on the pussy, pimps focus on the paper, Macs focus on the power. A Mac is a guy that runs on all cylinders, not just dealing with like body game, charisma, and masculinity, shout out to Ron Wills, but also dealing with skill set, intelligence, education, money, resources. So a guy that has mastered all 7 of those aspects is an MTU, Master of the Universe. Shout out to Cousin T-Talk, Alpha Wingman, aka
Nice.
Scorpio the Entertainer, author of the Seduction Scriptures. So what Ron Wills and Cousin T-Talk are trying to teach us how you can be a complete, thorough, holistic man, because that's what a real man is. And that was supposed to try to argue with me to the point, man, but hey, read these books, then try to argue with me again. And then after
True.
they read the books, they don't argue with me no more.
Right. Ain't nothing to argue about, right?
You see, here's what they don't understand about being a debater. When you become over emotional, that takes you off your center. In other words, the source topic of the argument. By mastering the center of the argument, which is the source topic, you're able to win the debate by focusing on the objectives that support the center, like the spokes in the wheel.
True. Let me bring this up real quick. Bill State National says, I hear the Vatican exploded and is now burning. Damn.
Must be some, you know what? It must be somebody that's trying to steal some of those archives in the Vatican, like
the ones at the bottom nobody can get
books,
to.
The 33 books taken out of the Bible.
Yeah.
The 33 books taken out of the Bible.
Yeah, all at the bottom of that. What is it? Miles and miles of
yeah.
Then they got like a cart or something down there that you actually get a ride in.
Right.
What up, Cornell?
Yeah,
what's up with you? Bill says A6.
Hey, Cornell, what's up,
give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec, Mac. Bill says A6. I can find your email. I will send you a copy of the document I'm using to claim my Regulation Z exemption. It is edible and ready for anyone who wants to put their own info in it. My email is right down in a little bar at the bottom. Yeah, it's right down here, the Proton Mail joint. Hit me on there and we can chop it up. I definitely want to see anything you have to say regarding that because that's very interesting.
Hey, when you get a chance, I also want to suggest that I suggest to every melanated person today get a Proton email, because if you really want to discuss some real deep stuff without folks messing with your stuff, it's encrypted. So what I decided to do was make this email macbone7@proton.me to be able to holler at you behind the scenes without any unencrypted interference.
Put that in the chat so I can put it up there. Prof says every card made since '92 is susceptible to EMPs. Yeah, computer control systems were added to improve safety and can shut down your car within 15-20 minutes. If you look at Too Fast, Too Furious, when Paul Walker had that Nissan Skyline and he was trying to outrun the police officers and he reached out the side. It was an Evo. It wasn't a Skyline. It was an Evo. He had an Evo 7 and he was trying to outrun the police officers. They hit the Evo with the EMP, right? And shut it down. Yeah. They
Yeah,
he
it's
hit him
said
with
it's not his NOS access system. Yeah,
not the NOS. It's
electronic.
when they hit him with the EM. Remember they hit that probe on the side of his whip and it was
Yeah, the
shutting. He had to keep his
EMP.
foot on the throttle. Yeah,
They
yeah.
called the electronic key to activate the NOS. Yeah, I remember that. And
Yeah.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
That was I love that movie. It's a great movie. What's good, Brian? Yes, sir. Grateful for y'all becoming a national. Let's do it. Every
You know, I
mortgage
wanted to
payment
ask you
back has
about that.
input. You to get your money back is
Yeah,
standard.
we get you. One second.
Say it again.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. When you become like an American foreign national, what are these certain attributes and benefits of becoming that?
Man, where do I start? Go ahead.
Does it keep you out of like the child support syndicate?
You're gonna need a little more than that because with the whole passport thing, they don't want to give you a passport if you're behind on that. But from what I understand, your information is corrected. However, they just don't want to issue the passport. So what I would suggest doing for something like that, you could probably still do the process to just correct the information in the system, and then you can get yourself a world citizen passport and carry that bad boy. You know what I mean? Your information's still been corrected. You could
Gotcha.
also do the Conch Republic passport too. I've heard of people discharging the debt with the whatever's owed on child support. I've heard of that. I've actually heard of a cat. I've heard a cat actually say that he got his DBA and his name registered in another state as a business. And when he showed up to the child support case, he basically said, "I'm an entity. I'm actually an ins legis business. I motioned to dismiss." They actually had to dismiss the case because he literally said he was a business. He was an entity. And they can only deal in family court. It's a family court, that type thing. They can't deal in business. It's a mixing of jurisdictions. They actually had to dismiss
Yes,
the case
that
like
got me
that.
to thinking. That got me to thinking by learning how to manage the two identities, because when you have the social security number, you're like the entity representing a certain person. And I was thinking about what Yusuf El was saying, that if you do that EIN number, the entrepreneur identification number, and if you learn how to play both sides, where you can protect your assets under your sovereign status, as a contrast to your civilian citizen status, because when they say you're a civilian, you're like the property slave of the state. And that social security number is your tattoo brand, your slave brand.
Yep, that's
so
facts.
even after you pass away, they will still use your birth certificate and your social security number as an official stock and trade at the IMF auction, stock and dividends in Switzerland.
That's facts. Shay, you know
Like
what?
like that identification number in red letters behind your social security card.
Yeah, right. The card.
That's the number through which they trade your labor, your lifetime of labor, as a stock option by the members of the 13th floor. In other words, the 13 Luciferian Illuminati families that control 95% of the world's wealth.
Yep. Dead on.
And some of these families are melanated people. Some of these families are melanated. So
that's facts. Yeah, it's not just, and that's another thing too. The misconception that it's all Europeans. It isn't. That's the part right there that gets a lot of people. Damn, they knocked my man off when he said that. They ain't like that. Hey, they got my man up out of here. As soon as he said that, it was like, oh hell no, get your ass. Yo, god damn, they got Mac up out of here. Sheesh. Damn, you said the wrong word on that one, Mac. They got over on you real quick. But yeah, he was right. Yeah, not all of them. Yeah, that whole thing that there's white people running everything, that's bullshit. It's all kinds of people working together to collaboratively fuck you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I need them Z tags too. Is this in North Carolina, or is there a way to get tags from the state you were born? Mine would be in Ohio. I heard about the Z plates. I actually seen the Z plates online. They're a little too they're not conspicuous. What's the word I'm searching for? They're a little too they're a little too flashy for me, if I put it that way. They jump out too much. You know what I mean? They look very abnormal, but not my style. EON channel has been saying that about mortgages for 4 years now. Redress Right is doing it too. EON is pretty sharp. Yes, sir. WB, the do not detain list is real. Yes, it is. Facts. The do not detain list is 100% real. I mean, ain't no do not detain list. No, there's a do not detain list. It definitely exists. It exists, and there's been multiple evidences of people seeing it online. The boy Taquan X has put that information out in the public. I wouldn't have done it, but it's already out there, so you can take a look if you want to see it for yourself. But yes, when you get your information ran, it does come back. Do not detain, restricted. Such and such. That's pretty much what it says. The legends are real. Yeah, he was saying a lot. They got him up off of there, man. Are you talking too much now? You didn't said a whole lot, and now we're gonna have to get you up out of there. That's what they did to me 2 weeks ago. You can't say too much. Have you ever heard of the common law court's passport? Nah, I haven't. But if you got that, let me get that. let me get that. Just saying, just something I came across. I thought I'd share with you. Hell yeah, I'm down with it. Okay, I'll send you the documents, share them out to people, help the people. Sure. Keep it in the private A6. Which one? What I put out there? What I do? Some stuff I keep in the private. I don't go out there too much. Why we ain't all on it, Tony? What I put out, I ain't put nothing out there. Tony called it. Hold on, gotta restart my phone because you chose to read. You chose not to read and study. Wait, what are we talking about here? What I miss? Yeah, I'm just gonna make my own, and it will look similar to Ohio Republican private non-commercial. I'm in the works of setting up foreign trust also. Look, check this out, yo. Like, as far as the IDs goes, man, like you literally can have like, all right. So the same way the state of whatever sets up, it's basically a trust. That's what it is. If you look at the state constitution, it'll say that the government workers are the trustees. It literally says it in your state constitution. So it's a trust, right? The same way they can make identifications, like they can make gun permits, driver's licenses, fishing licenses, all that shit. The same way they can do that, it's a trust, and they can make those things for its uh, what's the word I'm searching for? It's not beneficiaries necessarily, but it's subjects pretty much. The same way it can make those things to those who apply is the same way another trust can do it in a private. That's where I'm gonna leave it at. Thirsty for truth and knowledge. Yes, indeed. But yeah, that the private thing. Yeah, definitely. But now I don't think I put anything out there though, for real. I don't think I did. I don't think I put nothing out there. But yeah, so they got my man up out of there. They said, "Joe, you putting too much out there, bro." All right, so back here, right here. If anybody else wants to jump back in the live stream and get busy with the knowledge, we can do so here. Facts, you are the creator. Nationals don't ask permission; they make it happen. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yep. No reason you can't, like, if you driving operating in commerce, that this that and the third, you can do that too. If you want to operate in commerce, you don't necessarily have to go through the state of whatever to do it. I mean, what gives them the right? Because they're not. It's a de facto government. It's not really. It's not really a government. It's de facto. You know what I mean? It's a corporation pretending to be an actual state, pretending to be a landmass. You know what I mean? That's all it is. So what gives them the say so that they can do it and tell you you can't? You know what I mean? If you're a U.S. citizen, of course, it'd be an issue. But if you're not a U.S. citizen, you're a national free man or such, and that's how you can rock out. OG made it hot, yeah, he was dropping some heat, yo. My man dropped some lava bombs out here. They had to cut him off. Recommend reading books, The Way of Life, according to Lo Zhu, translated by Witter Biner. Yo, Lo Zhu was a genius. That dude was a philosopher, man. He has some stuff, man. Lozu was fire. Let me catch up on some of these comments. I know I'm behind. Hold on. What up, Duval? What's good? Anna is good. Don't listen to the propaganda. Listen, dude. I didn't see shit. I done seen stuff about Anna Von rights. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna say no, and I'm not gonna say yes. All right. I was born in '82, and I remember being part of Gen X. Now the age guy says my daddy's Gen X. Something more than spelling the words have changed. Good luck to us both, my man. I don't know what to think about David Strait. I've been hearing about David Strait a lot lately. Giant back at you, brother. Yes, he does. If you want to hit me up on the Telegram, yeah. Somebody said the Vatican exploded. So lightning hit the Vatican too, huh? Hit the likes, 28 people. Everybody hit that like button. Greatly appreciate that. Cops are code enforcement. They are not subject. We are not subject to codes. Yeah, that's facts. They are policy enforcers. They are statutes, codes, and ordinances. SCOs. They're SCO enforcers, statutes, codes, and ordinances. They're not law enforcement. They don't enforce the law is the Constitution, which they all took an oath to. But they don't. They put the state of whatever over the law. The law is the law of the land, which is the Constitution. You know, 1803 Marbury versus Madison says that any law that's repugnant to the Constitution of the United States of America is null and void. Supreme Court case. They ignore that shit all the time. All the time. The Supreme Court literally just came out and said that a lot of them rules they were putting out and them codes they were putting out were unconstitutional, including the one with the carry permits and all that stuff. It's just interesting to see how stuff moves. So you can see what time these people are on. They're moving unconstitutionally. Supreme Court already said it. You know. Passport should give you lifetime concealed. Or it should be nationwide. Correct. I've heard missile info on this. I've seen the information that pops up on a computer, and it did not say anything about concealed carry. It may used to have said it. I've got some. I got some information about that, but I didn't see that on there. I did see do not detain, do not arrest, do not detain, do not arrest, do not detain is what it said. Sorry about that. But I didn't see anything about the concealed carry. And I'm gonna tell y'all just like I told everybody else. The same way the police officers don't fully grasp the concept of right to travel because they're not abreast to the knowledge, they don't know anything about it, is the same. It might be the same situation with that carrying your arms or something like that. That's why I say there's a private way to go about doing all this stuff too. You know, now I'm not going to get into detail because I'm going to leave that in the private, but there's a private way to do all that too. So, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, you know, you do have the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment says you have the right. Not all police officers even know what the Constitution haven't read the Constitution anyway, though. So that's the catch-22. You know what I mean? Everyone says there are things about Anna that are bad, but no one tells me what she did bad. Long as arms are in the foreign trust. Yeah, my man. Keep that. Y'all putting private. Y'all can't be putting private stuff out in the public. Y'all gotta chill. Recommend reading books. Tao Te Ching and the Door explained by Lozu, translated by Derek Lynn. Okay. What we gonna do with all these soulless zombies we call sheeple? They can't go on forever. I mean, we ain't gotta do nothing, yo. Let it run its course. You know, ain't nothing we gotta do. All we gotta do is stick together, man, and you know, basically be on the same page, pay attention to everything that's going on, react accordingly. They got to figure it out themselves. They already know what program they own, man. So recommend reading books. Chung Tzu, The Tao of Perfect Happiness by Chung Tzu, translated by Olivia Kahn. In the 3 books. Well, yeah, let's be 100% clear. The Constitution says you can carry, basically. It shall not be infringed. The people to bear arms. The people, we're the people. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Being necessary for the security of the free state, a well-regulated militia, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's what it says in the Second Amendment. All right? So yes, 100% it does say that you can carry. Problem is, a lot of these policy enforcers don't read the Constitution. They never actually read it. I've actually had an officer argue with me about that shit. It doesn't say that it says shall not be infringed, but it doesn't say that you can just carry. Like, bro, what? I've actually heard a police officer say that only police officers should have guns. Like, Nick, hey, you shouldn't even be a police officer at that point. You need to be working at the local high school sweeping floors. You don't need to be nowhere near any kind of authority over nothing or nobody. My bad, bro. I'll hit you an email. Hey, hit the email, yo. Don't put that out there. y'all be killing me. Let the private stay in the private, man. Don't lower your voice. 100%. All right, yes, sir. But yeah, man, you got to get creative. Like when you really start being out here and you start moving around, you're a national and all that, you got to start getting creative. You got to start putting these people on notice, man. Like, put them on notice. Put them on. A gentleman always gives notice. You know what I mean? Your woman will thank you for it too. I've been a Taoist practitioner cultivator since 1987, 35 years. Breathing techniques and all that, huh? I need to get with that, the breathing techniques. Most policy enforcers are protected by their policy at the department. Yeah, they have qualified immunity. But see, the thing about qualified immunity is shit limited. When they go outside of their scope of authority, that qualified immunity goes away in all senses. You know what I mean? So as far as that goes with the qualified immunity, that would fall under what is that? What is that? What is that? What is it? What is that? What is that? Deprivation of rights under color of law. What the fuck is that goddamn United States Code? 18 United States Code Title 242 and 241 is what it is. 18 United States Code Title 242 and Title 241. It's a conspiracy to deprive of rights and deprivation of rights under color of law. Because let's be real, statutes, codes, and regulations are all color of law. It's not actually a law, it's a statute. Lowercase l law. That's the color of law. You know what I mean? So they tell you don't speed, and if you speed, you're breaking the law. That's color of law. You ain't breaking no, you breaking the color of law. That's pretending to be a law. And it's funny how they make all these statutes and get away with it, right? All those punishments that are in the United States Code for shit that they're supposed to get punished for, they never get punished for. Meanwhile, all the felonies and stuff and all this, you know what I mean? They try to throw you in jail for that shit. It's very one-sided. All these agencies like the FBI, CIA are unconstitutional. Try the ATF. That's infringement city right there. What? 100%. ATF is unconstitutional. NFA, all of them. They all need to go. All 3-letter organizations need to fly out and not come back. Crazy ass shit. They be on some bullshit, man. For real. 100%. We're rolling up on 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let me tell y'all something, yo. Hypnotic was HYPNOTIC. It was not, or was it K, whatever. It was not, the Y was not missing. I don't care what y'all say. And I will argue with you till the end of time. There was a Y in Hypnotic. God damn it. All right, man. Yo, hit that like button, everybody. I greatly appreciate y'all tuning in. Please, if you can, hit the Cash App. I do like to be compensated for my my time. Anything you can give would be great. Donate whatever you want. If you want to, Cash App is down there. If you need a consultation, hit me up on the private email. That's also there too. You can also hit me on Instagram. You know, I'm always on there sharing all kinds of stuff. I engage in different posts and all that too. If you have a question, don't be scared to reach out to me. Holla at me, man. I like talking to y'all. That's why I'm doing this. Principal towers and suppleness, flow, gentleness, balance, harmony, integrity, nothingness, subtlety, simplicity, facts. ATF may get this banned with the latest ruling. Yeah, I heard that. NFA too. They might both get trashed. Supreme Court might just wash them away. Which makes me wonder, yo, has the Supreme Court been asleep all this damn time? Like, yo, so y'all acting like y'all didn't see none of this stuff that was going on the whole time? Y'all only been there since how long? You know what I mean? That's 1875? Like, what the fuck were y'all doing the whole time, bro? But, you know, it cycles to it. Hit me back on my email. Let me know what you think of the document. I got you, Bill. Thank you. Counteract with conventional and complicated with simplicity. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, look, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Always a great experience having you guys in here, learning from you guys, talking to you guys. A pleasure. Thank you so much. It is 8/6, the Foreign National Born Natural. And we will be here next Sunday, same time, and we'll be doing a show then. As far as the Tuesday shows, I'm trying to get this other program in. That's why I stopped doing them, because the sound wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. The music wasn't there. It'd be there when I was listening, and when I play it back, the music is gone. Yeah, this StreamYard is not going to be good for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade pretty soon. We're gonna try to get some more software here, and we're gonna swing it out and swing it back in, and it's gonna be real different next time y'all see me on here. But yeah, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. I'll holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.